and I'm just having a coffee is pretty lousy. So let me know. Let me know if it's good enough for a live. Let me know if it sucks. But either way, good morning to you all. Day after, I thought I haven't had the opportunity to really talk about and reflect on the match and everything that was. Yeah, as I put in the title, student to coach Ray. Sometimes it's just the way it goes, isn't it? And what happened last night for me was just one of those moments where it's a lesson and you do what you can do. I have, yeah, super impressed. Honestly, Coach Ray's performance. Yeah, so much in that. Good to see a couple of you guys in here. Good morning to everyone. Hope everyone enjoyed the East vs West. It was phenomenal. Before I get specifically into the match, I'll say that the event was really amazing. Benjamin Mag, do you feel the weight cut mess with you at all? I'll get to those questions in a moment. I just want to say, I guess look, the whole event was crazy. So much fun here. So much fun. The event was really mega. So many cool people. Getting to meet a bunch of guys that I haven't met before. People like I spent time with Dave Chafee and Jerry Cataret and Evgeny Prudnik and Ermis Gasparini. Love that dude. So cool to hang with people like that. But all in all, great event. Now, specifically for the match, now that we've got a number of people in here, yeah, let's talk about my match and how it went and my lead up to it and all that sort of stuff. First things first. Look, Ray was just too good. He was too good. I didn't think I brought anything to the table in terms of my preparation or anything like that. I felt really good. I felt really good. The weight cut is an interesting factor. Ray talked about it a lot in the build up to the event that it would be a factor. It's one of those sports, where we don't know. We don't know how much of a factor stuff is because it's a human against a human, so we're not lifting up a weight. So I can't. When people ask me, do I feel like the weight cut affected me and my strength? I don't know. I don't know how much it did. All I can say is I know it felt good. In my arm, in my hand, I felt great as I came into the build up. Now, this for me, so the match itself, like I said, I came into it, as you guys know, I came into it with a very firm and aggressive attitude. I wanted to make sure I put my best foot forward. And getting into that mental state was a really critical thing for me. I honestly did think that I was the favourite to win. As it was definitely truth. There was not just salesmanship and showmanship there. I really did think, okay, yeah, I'm the favourite to win and I'll get it done. But as I said, you get things wrong, and I definitely got it wrong in this instance. Ray was amazing, and Ray felt phenomenal. The pressures that I felt from him when I got up there, I came into it with a game plan of like thinking, okay, controlling center in the setup is going to be crucial. And round one, and when we kind of came up there, I brought all the aggression. And as I was saying, before I get specifically to the match, the mental build up, I actually think it was the best. Like for my own personal situation, my own personal head, and harnessing of nerves, I was really happy. I want to thank Lachlan. Lachlan did a astounding job of getting me to focus and getting me to channel nervous energy into self-belief and everything. I really that version of me mentally was ready. That version of me mentally was really there. I was up for the fight, and I was super keen to give it my all. I was in a mind state of fearlessness where I was just ready. I was coiling up as a spring in my mind, ready to release. And yeah, so I think, like I said, I want to thank Lachlan. I actually, and there's no punches being pulled here. I think the version that I brought to the table myself, I'm actually proud of in terms of my arm wrestling capability. I know it was interesting when I saw comments from different people saying that they didn't think I prepared well. I assure you guys I prepared well. Like when I say I prepared well, I know I've always trained slightly differently, and this is one of those learning experiences where like you you take a loss and you go, okay, what was it that person did better? What was it that person has in their fundamentals or in their approach that I didn't? And you grow from it. And with every time you get the outing, with every opportunity, you learn a little bit more. And the Latvian team, I got to give credit to them. They gave us a lesson once again. They gave us a good lesson this outing. I know Lachlan and I were both confident, but yeah, we both got controlled. We both got beaten in every sense of the word, and unable to. I'm super sore this morning. My elbow. I didn't even do that much after pulling, other than I forget the name. World champion. Sorry, I'm meaning no disrespect. Former world champ, one of Engen Terzi's good buddies. After pulled with him, and he was savage. He was taking my wrist, and I tried to jam up my elbow and whatnot. But then Gabby, of course, as well. Gabby was brutal. On the Gabby thing, I would definitely, honestly say that, like I've pulled other strong females. I've pulled Marlon, I've pulled Fia, I've pulled Sarah. Gabby's different. Gabby is amazing. Like if I had a super match with Gabby, it's a real match, and I'd probably lose it. That's honest. That's what I felt from her was like, holy shit, wow, that's amazing. I definitely could not beat her in a hook. Gabby inside was her compact nature and her levers. When she's in there, it's good night. It's like, okay, I can't do anything. You're so open, and her power is so mega. And then I've only pulled it twice. The first time I just thought, okay, can I just stonewall? And I went, okay, can't stonewall. Second time I thought, okay, well, let's see if I can get out. And I couldn't get out. I went to top roll, and I'm like, oh shit, she's gonna drag me back down once more. So it gives you guys an understanding of where Gabby's at. She's a phenomenal wrestler. And what I felt from her was just like, oh wow, okay. So I got nothing but admiration for her. She's phenomenal. She was 95 kilos, and I'd say we were pretty much the same weight. Yeah, all these short people, Ray, Gabby crushing me. But anyway, back to Ray. So yeah, so round one, it was coming to a point where it was like, come out there and test my frame. I wanted to. Over the last few years, side pressure has been a big focus. When we talk about my preparation, I've had my style of preparation. What I can say is I have not let my focus or my determination ease off. The last 2.5 years where I've been locked in Australia, nothing has changed. There was definitely nothing but heavy focus and heavy work for me. I'm certain that I'm a better arm wrestler now than I was 2 years ago, without a doubt. So that just means for me that I'm more impressed with the performance that Ray did. I've always gone into specifics. As you guys have seen, I've never trained base power. I've never trained the broader things. I've always had the philosophy that the closer things are to my fingertips, the more valuable they are to win against my opponent. So I've always spent more time on things like wrist rise and finger flexion. And as you go down the chain, for me, it's become less important in my training. And look, the match with Ray, I guess it's kind of like the same sort of moment that I had with Justin Bishop back in 2017, where Justin at the time highlighted to me that, yeah, my hand was okay, but my side pressure wasn't sufficient. And I went into this big season of side pressure. And if I was to draw conclusions from Ray, well, he highlighted for me that, again, my hand didn't hang with his in the hook. I wasn't able to control his pronator at all. He certainly dictated center. He controlled my pronator, and then he just drove sideways really hard, which was impressive. So my hand against someone like Ray's in a hook was not good enough. Round two, I thought, okay, well, straight away I realized there's no option for me out of straps to hold on. So I'm in a top roll. So I went to my low hand top roll, which classically is where I began, and I guess against shorter arm wrestlers has been a shape that's been successful for me, and that proved my best option. So round number two, which was probably the only round that I looked half decent in, I did a low hand top roll, and we got some traction. We went to straps, and center was dictated again by Ray, and I was able to get into a defensive top roll position, and there was glimmers there. I was in that match for enough that I thought, come on, you can work with this, you can work with this. I was having problems getting stable on the table, and what I mean by that is my elbow was slipping, and it was hard for me to maintain solid defensive posture with that elbow slipping. And what that meant was with Ray's immense back pressure, he just dragged me over. Hey, thanks for the super chat, man. Exia Denova, humbling defeat, bro. Just keep moving forward. I'll do breakdowns on all the East vs West matches. Yeah, I will at some stage. I'll do it, man. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the support, man. Yeah. Just look, despite all the words I said prior, everything I said was really no disrespect for me, or not intended. My my mental state was all about getting myself into an aggressive and an intentful state. I'll always be humble after a match. If someone's too good for me, the first thing I do is I'll shake their hand and say too good. Like, every time, there's never excuses in defeat is just not something that you should be doing in any sport. It's not something you'll see me do. So if someone beats me, then they deserve it, and they're too good. Well done. Back to the drawing board. The thing about me is that, yeah, I do love it. I won't ever stop. I'm so genuinely invested, and I enjoy learning. And look, losses like this, these are gold. Traveling all this way, it's a big thing, and it makes these matches important. When there's things on the line like this, when you're at a big event where there's legends of the sport around you everywhere watching, there's the world watching, and you've traveled all this way, time and energy, money to get here. These are the matches that subsequently just mean more for the athletes. And when it means more, you get more truth. I always talk about that with new guys of the sport. That practice doesn't show the truth, and a comp does. And the more meaningful the comp, the more meaningful the situation, the more truth comes out. And so these moments I really treasure, and I really value them for my own progression and understanding in the sport. So this one meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to Ray. I think it meant more to me. I think I did. I think Ray was more comfortable, and you could see he was much more relaxed in it. I knew, given how much this meant to me, I was really not wanting to be casual. I was really not wanting to let it slip, and I wanted to make sure I brought everything. The weight cut. Let's talk about that for a little bit. The weight cut. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I do want to go through the match in detail. So I was halfway through round two, so let's finish that off. Round two, in the straps, he separates me. When I couldn't get my elbow planted, with a solid connection, my top roll eventually caved. And when my top roll eventually caved, because he was dragging me onto his side of the match, his side of the table, my pronation was no longer in a position where I was able to keep his hand threatened as well, and we went into a hook. And when I went into a hook, he certainly had everything then. But in that position there, after having put some work into his hand in the top roll, I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't just over immediately. There was still a few more bricks that he needed to break down before he could pin me. He did that. He arm wrestled perfectly. His technical movements back there, he didn't make any errors. And when it comes to endurance-based arm wrestling and technique and things like that, often a superior technical arm wrestler can lead that dance even though they're not stronger. They can come back by leading the technical dance. And against a lesser arm wrestler, I would have been able to come back in that second round. I could feel, in terms of where the physical balance was, there was enough of a stop there that if Ray wasn't a master, then I would have been able to cause him to make errors and that. But he executed perfectly, and although instinctively in my body I was like, you're not out of it, you're not out of it, you're not out of it, he just systematically broke down the correct piece of me in order, and subsequently just got the job done. And it was impressive arm wrestling from Ray. So I got to give him credit there that he lived up to everything I expected in terms of his technical ability, particularly in that round two. It looked fantastic. Because yeah, round three I knew was going to be difficult. You guys know I pull way better when I'm top rolling. I pull way better without the buckle. And round two for me was the must win round. And when I didn't win it, I thought, oh shit, okay, here we go. I got the buckle. I know I can't beat him in a hook right now at all, so I have to try to top roll again. And it reminded me that look, my game, my top roll game, is just not good enough when it's buckle side. And he subsequently top rolled me. He said he was going to do it. He did it. So well done to Ray for that. I tried to top roll, but wrist went back, and I didn't want to give up. Ray took the wrist, put me into that sideways position. I don't know how Jerry Cataret does it to be to be like that and be able to withstand and actually outlast a powerful opponent is phenomenal. But anyway, Ray got me there, and he could have pinned me at any point in time. But as you do, he held me for a while, made a point of it, and then eventually put me out of my misery. All right. Okay. So that was the match in terms of detailed breakdown. Like I said, to talk a little bit about the weight cut. The weight cut was not pleasant. I'll definitely say that. It's been a long time since I've done a weight cut. I think the last one was 2000 and maybe 2019. Yeah, it was Lottie 2019, but I was only cutting to 95 that time. I've gone up as high as 104 kilos when I faced Lachlan earlier in the year, and I was on gear then. I got off the gear after Lachlan, and that returned my natural body weight to about 97 from the 104. And then it was a decision I made then of okay, well let's go down to let's find out what my body's natural sort of homeostasis is, and I started doing that, and then I got offered these matches, and I thought, oh, okay. And Engen said to me I would need to be 90 kilos. So 90 kilos was the goal, and I did it gradually. At first I said, okay, I'm going to diet down. So I started running, I started restricting my calories, and I started losing body fat and getting leaner. That process, yeah. Did it affect my strength? Like I said earlier, I don't know exactly how much strength it affected. No doubt my fundamental power is less at a lighter weight. I was still backing my hand and wrist to still be as good, but I don't know how much. But it did. It certainly, I guess, affected something. As I came down in weight, then when I got on the plane to come over here, I left Australia at like 92 kilos, thinking, okay, there'll be a 2 kilo cut. Somehow on the plane, when I got here, I was essentially 94 kilos, or 93.8 kilos I was when I got here. The water retention on the flight, I don't know, long haul flight, 30 hours traveling. And yeah, it was definitely something that was a factor. When I got here, I realized, okay, I'm going to need to put in some fairly heavy effort into getting that weight off. So no real food or drink was going on when I first arrived, and then I started getting into the sauna. I thought, okay, well, I've got to start getting conditioned. Got down to 91 kilos, and then was just gonna ride it out from there and do the next kilo the next day. And then, as you know, I did that deal with Ray where we were all going out for dinner. And I thought, oh man, I'd love to be able to weigh in tonight. Ray said, yeah, cool, you got to be 89.5 if that's the case. So that afternoon, I went and pushed it down to down to that weight, 89.5 weighed in. Turns out I pushed it down to 88.7 on Engen's scales anyway. There were different scales to mine. So I went, I don't know, was it 88.7? Was it 89.5? Two different scales. Either way, it was considerable. You could see it in my face. People that arrived that day and saw me that way were like, "Oh man, Ryan, you look so skinny. What on earth is going on?" And I'll be honest, my mental was at risk. When I said my mental state, it was like I didn't like what I saw in the mirror at all, and I still don't like it. I still feel like my face is thin. It's still not back to its fullness that it would be. So the cut definitely played a factor, played a role. I worked really hard on trying to block that out mentally and get back to a place I tried to rehydrate as well as I could and carb backed up, all that sort of stuff. And I think I did a reasonable job at that. My weight on the scales at the match would have been 92.5 thereabouts. So like the weight was back, the water was in, but like I said, yeah, I feel like I can still see it in my face now that it's not as full as it usually would be. But all in all, it was a factor that came into play, and yeah, it for me the goal. So I guess there, like, what are my goals moving forward? My goals moving forward are just to keep on getting better. Um, you guys know that I do dream big in this sport, and I'll continue to dream big. I'm not. And this is the thing I promised myself when I found arm wrestling was that I'd never make the mistake that I did in tennis, where I feared the ceiling and I feared that it was an impossible task to progress. I got to a decent level in tennis, and fear took over that, where I was like, no, I can't go beyond here. I promised myself I'd never do that in arm wrestling. I've gone a lot further in arm wrestling than I ever did in tennis because of it. And where I'm at now is that it's at a place where it's potential that I'm hitting that ceiling. You know, like I'm hitting that zone where it's like, now is where it mentally starts to become the bigger challenge. And so I love it. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep doing what I do and just plug away. You guys know that I love this sport. I'll keep talking about the sport, my YouTube stuff, the commentating. I had a blast with Derek Smith, and I'm honoured to call arm wrestling a career. So the arm wrestling commentary career enables me to be around arm wrestling, and it enables me to train in arm wrestling every day, and I do. Because of that opportunity, and because of my love for the sport, I don't think that I don't think I'm gonna stop by any stretch. And the layers will always be one after the other, year after year. Put on. My elbow will get better, my hand and wrist will get better. Things will always be on the improve. I'm not going to go backwards unless some sort of major injury occurred or something like that. But touch wood, none of that happens. I'm going to keep progressing forward and just keep absorbing and learning lessons. And like I said, we got a great lesson this time around. I feel like I have a good understanding of what needs to be done. And interestingly, like you guys may be aware, my wife and I, we're staying here in this region of the world for the next 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks. And we'll actually end up at Arm Wars. I'm quite sore now. I'm going to have to really rest my elbow. A hard defeat like that, where you give it your all and you get opened up, it always hurts. It always stretches out the tendons, the ligaments in the elbow, and there's no exception to that on this occasion. So I've got to now prep and get ready for Arm Wars. So for me, physically, what that's going to look like is just eating. It's going to look like eating and resting. There's not going to be real training. I have bands. Yeah, Drew 24. I do have bands when it comes to rehab. I'll do rehab, but there's not going to really be an opportunity for me to do any heavy training or anything like that. I can only really rehab. I can only really keep it light reps, and my next opponent, Bogdan Stoica, he is someone who beat Jordan Davis, and look, to be honest, he's more dangerous than Ray. So he's a bigger guy, he's a faster guy, he's got a nasty press. For me to find a way into that battle, given that he would, I believe he would dominate Ray. I mean, I spoke with Ray afterwards, and he said, "Look, Bogdan's he's worse again than I am. Like he's a nasty, nasty dude." So I realized very clearly where I'm at in this match, that I need to, between now and Arm Wars, which is only 4 weeks away, I need to get some energy back in my body. So food will be my friend. I think thankfully I'm in a very good region of the world to be able to attempt to do that. My wife and I, we're going to spend 5 more days here in Istanbul. Then we're going to be off to Italy, and we're going to see Rome and Florence and Venice. Then we'll be off to Paris, and then we'll be in London, and then we'll be at Arm Wars. So my job is just going to be to eat. I'm going to do my absolute best to get back up to close to 100 kilos or something. I don't know. I'll talk to Bogdan. I don't even know where the weight's set at, but I believe Bogdan is someone who sits around that 95 to 100 mark himself naturally. So I'm gonna need everything of that because where my body's at right now at 92 is not going to be enough, not even close for Bogdan. His press looks savage, so I got to eat, got to get back up and see if I can put up a fight and get some revenge because of course he did beat Jordan Davis from Australia in his last arm war. So anyway, but Bogdan, I'm sure he's confident and feeling good after seeing this. But I love the fact that I've got this straight away. Normally, it's a long time between drinks when it comes to opportunities to pull in Europe. Um, they are the experiences that I want most as an athlete. I recognize that I've had plenty of experience, in America. I love nothing more than getting more experience against the European guys because they just do things differently. They feel different, and yeah, they are really valuable experiences for me. So yeah. So, eating, arm wars. I haven't read any of your chats, guys. I do apologize for that. Okay, where I'll end all this is on the commentary side of things with Derek. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the chat. Did you guys? I'll actually look at the chat now rather than just think. How was the live stream chat? Derek and I had a fantastic time. We enjoyed it. I was honoured to get to call so many amazing matches. I'd love to do that again. Super grateful to Engen for that opportunity to be trusted with that. Amazing matches. Calling John for the first time in my life, phenomenal. The greatest armwrestler of all time, doing what he does. Great match. Kudagali on Garbayev with the win, but fantastic. And that freaking war that Jerry did, that was for me the most phenomenal match I've ever seen in my life. Calling that, what a buzz, what a buzz. So really, really, really happy with that. Good to see. Thank you. Looks like you guys enjoyed the commentary. Procrastinator says that was the best commentating I've seen at one of these big events by far. I think most would agree. You should be commentating all events. Man, thank you so much, Procrastinator. I loved it, man. Derek and Ryan is the best commentary duo after Neil Pickup. Derek brings the banter. Ryan has good analysis. Yeah, Derek made me laugh a number of times. It was awesome. Good stuff. Yeah. All right. So, guys, I might wrap it up. Like I said, I'm here down in the Breakfast Hall. A bunch of people are going to be leaving, I'm sure, very shortly. I'll hope to catch a few. If I do catch a few, I'll quickly grab little videos with them because there's a lot of people that I really enjoyed spending time with. I want to thank them and all that sort of stuff and wish them well on their next adventure. But yeah, all in all, really cool. Really appreciate everyone's support. All the stuff. My mental attitude coming forward. The Delusional Ryan Bowen series. I'm actually really, really, really grateful for the amount of support. Like, honestly, I knew I was gonna have to face the music losing this match, despite everything that I was saying prior. I thought, yeah, look, I'm gonna have to face the music, and I'm gonna cop it. But honestly, I've copped so much, but nothing but support. I've had so many people thanking me for inspiring them, thanking them for plugging away, for giving it my all. So I really appreciate the fact that you guys do that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I still believe the sport is growing, and I'm just honored to be a part of the reason the sport does grow. Nashville Arm Wrestling, thanks for the super chat. Says quick review. Not sure what you want me to review there, bro. I've reviewed pretty much everything. Juggernaut says you know how to sell a fight. Thank you, man. Yeah, I one of the things I got to do during this time was like with people like Hermes Gasparini. I got to sit down with Hermes, and Hermes asked me, "How do I do this YouTube thing?" And helping those guys at the top. I did the same thing with Prudnik. I sat down with him at breakfast, and we talked about YouTube and how to make a career as an athlete from their position, where those guys are truly the best in the world. They're the elite of the elite, and the fact that they're coming to me with questions on how they can do that is awesome. I'm grateful that they see me as someone that can help them in that regard. And yeah, a lot of new friends from this trip. The fact that I felt welcome socially amongst these guys is awesome. To be able to sit down with people like Gennady, like big bad scary Gennady, even though he can't speak English, he comes up to me with a smile, pats me on the shoulder, and we sit down and we talk via a translator. Things like that, they're very special to me. So Yeah, felt really welcomed. Loved all the support from you guys. Had a great weekend. There's going to be so much more to talk about as we unpack all these things. And yeah, I will. My content between now and Arm Wars is going to be low level stuff. I'm obviously not in my studio, so there's not going to be anything high production. It's all going to be just here on my phone. So yeah, I will bring you along for the ride, and we'll keep this ball rolling. I love arm wrestling. I'll never depart from that. It is the thing I enjoy most. Honored once again, guys. Thank you. I'm rambling now. My breakfast has gone cold. My coffee is no longer hot, but it's worth it. Yeah, am I going to be ready for Neil's show? Ooh, today's Sunday. Look, yeah, I may well be able to do. I should be able to. I got to move to a new hotel this afternoon. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. But all right, guys, thank you so much for all the comments and everything. Please, yeah, keep them coming. Keep sending me any questions and all that sort of stuff. I'll see what I can do between now and when everyone departs. I'll try to grab any people that I may have missed. But all in all, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, Gabby is a beast. Again, one more time, I would say, Gabby and I had a super match. It would be legit, and she would be the favorite. From what I felt, she is phenomenal. Congratulations to her. Good way to end. 32-time world champion, achieving the thing she's never been able to do before, which is defeat Egil Veitkut. Special lady is Gabriela Vasconcelos. The only female I've ever gripped that feels that way. And I've gripped, like I said, other female world champions, and they don't feel like Gabby. She's something different. All right, guys, I'm out of here.